Welcome to What's Happening Now, your go-to source for all things geopolitics and international relations. I'm VG, and each week we dive deep into the complex world of global affairs, unraveling the stories behind the headlines and exploring the forces shaping our world. From diplomatic shifts and international conflicts to emerging trends and global power dynamics, we're here to break down the big issues and provide you with the insights you need to understand today's rapidly changing landscape. So whether you're a seasoned political junkie or just curious about the world stage, hit that subscribe button and join us as we navigate the intricate web of global politics. Let's dive into what's happening now. After the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, the political leader of Hamas and Hezbollah's commander in Beirut, the Middle East has seen significant escalation. Bombing continues in both Lebanon and Gaza. Nations across the globe have issued travel advisories to their citizens, warning against travel to the region, particularly to Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. The area remains highly unstable, with ongoing conflict and instability. Turkey has imposed a ban on Instagram, one of the largest social media platforms, after the platform removed a post supporting Hamas. This move followed a recent threat from President Erdogan to Israel in support of Gaza. This development appears to be part of a larger political strategy. Meanwhile, NATO is reportedly preparing to consider removing Turkey from the alliance in the near future due to its actions against one of the USA's key allies. Financial experts predict that the US is headed for economic challenges in the near future, with former President Donald Trump expressing concerns about the possibility of a new Great Depression. Trump has also emphasized the need for significant reforms to stabilize and revitalize the US economy. As we all know, the global economy is heavily influenced by the US, given its substantial economic power and its role in global conflicts. However, there are growing concerns that US economic dominance and global influence may decline in the coming years. There have been ongoing protests in Pakistan for the creation of a separate country, particularly in the Balochistan province, where a long-standing conflict exists between Baloch separatists and the Pakistani military. The Baloch people have been demanding independence, and large-scale protests have erupted against Chinese investments and projects in the region as the local population feels they are not benefiting from these developments. Additionally, reports of kidnappings and killings of Baloch individuals by the Pakistani military have fueled further unrest. The situation raises questions about Pakistan's future, drawing comparisons to 1971 when Pakistan lost East Pakistan, now known as Bangladesh. Riots in the UK have intensified, with many people targeting the Muslim community. The unrest began after misinformation spread about a knife attack in which 2 children lost their lives. Although the perpetrator was a minor, the violence quickly escalated into widespread anti-Muslim riots across various parts of the UK, with clashes between rioters and law enforcement. This marks the first major outbreak of violence in the UK since the recent elections, and the situation has persisted for several days. Iran is reportedly preparing to launch an attack on Israel following the killing of a Hamas leader in Tehran. In response, Iran has strengthened its alliance with Russia to acquire long-range missiles and advanced air defense systems to support this potential offensive. Anti-Israel sentiment in Iran has intensified rapidly in the wake of the Hamas leader's death, as well as the recent killings of key commanders from Hezbollah and Hamas. One of the biggest stories from last week was the military coup in Bangladesh, which followed widespread student protests. The army took control of the country, forcing Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to flee to India. The military announced plans to establish an interim government to manage the country, but internal issues persist. Radicalization and attacks against minorities have been on the rise in Bangladesh since the protests. We will be making a separate video on this topic, so stay tuned. Amid the escalating conflict between Iran and Israel, ongoing tensions in West Asia, and fears of a recession in the US, the global stock market has suffered a dramatic crash. Approximately $6.4 trillion in value has been lost, causing widespread alarm among the trading community and investors. With global conflicts showing no signs of abating, concerns are mounting across every continent. Former Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu recently visited Iran, where he held talks with senior military and security officials. During his visit, Shoigu toured an exhibition of Iranian missile systems, highlighting Iran's interest in securing Russian support for potential actions against Israel, particularly in acquiring long-range missiles and advanced air defense systems. In return, Russia is reportedly seeking Iranian drones to enhance its capabilities in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Following the recent military coup in Bangladesh, former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina attempted to seek asylum in the UK, but her request was denied. The United States also revoked her visa, barring her from visiting family in the UK or traveling to the US. With limited asylum options remaining, she may turn to Nordic countries or Russia for refuge. Russia's position will be crucial, given its significant strategic interests in Bangladesh's nuclear power and energy sectors. In a significant escalation of the Russia-Ukraine war, Ukrainian forces have advanced into Russia's Kursk Oblast, reportedly killing over 400 Russian soldiers. The ongoing conflict has led to substantial civilian casualties on both sides, prompting Russia to declare a state of emergency in the region. Global attention is now riveted on the potential confrontation between Russia's S-400 missile defense system and Ukrainian F-16 fighter jets. This scenario is of particular interest to India and Pakistan, as India has acquired the S-400, while Pakistan operates F-16s, making the outcome highly relevant to both nations' strategic calculations. That's a wrap for today's global adventure. Remember, history is written by the victors, but podcasts are made by us. Subscribe for your weekly dose of global intrigue.